my name is Austin Williams. I'm the App Builder Product Manager, and today I'll be giving a demo of the App Builder AI Assistant. In the demo, we'll first understand the AI Assistant's capabilities. Next, we'll use AI to create a new application from scratch. We'll then use AI to create a dashboard page for reporting. And lastly, we can ask the AI to suggest improvements to our app. This will give us a roadmap of features and functionality. That way, our end users have an enterprise-grade application. Let's jump into the demo. Here we are on the Harmony landing page. I'll click the App Builder tile to launch my App Builder instance and sign in. The AI Assistant can be accessed from the site menu, clicking the tile in the toolbar, and also clicking the menu option in the navigation menu. To begin, we're going to ask the AI Assistant how it can help us in our database layer. By giving it the prompt, what kind of database modifications can it make? This will come back with a list of capabilities such as creating tables, adding new columns and making changes to those columns, creating relationships between tables, deleting tables and columns, and also generating test data for us. You can also review our schema and make suggestions for improvements and guide us through best practices. We'll do the same thing in the business logic layer, asking us what it can do, and it's going to tell us that it can create different types of rules, set up validations, configure actions and events, register default rules on our pages, create notifications, set up conditional formatting, and also, again, guiding us through those best practices to design the business logic for our application. Lastly, we'll ask it how it can help us in our UI layer, and it's going to tell us that it can create new pages, add panels to those pages, modify the layout of all those panels, adding fields and controls to our panels, configuring binding between panels, adding different types of charts and data visualizations, setting up that conditional formatting, linking to pages and events, changing the layout, and even previewing or applying themes to our application. Now that we understand those capabilities, we can go ahead and start building out a new application by giving the AI a prompt. Here I'm giving a simple prompt that I want to build a CRM, but this can be as detailed as you'd like and specific to your business process. It'll know what a CRM app means, a customer relationship management. It'll describe that business process. We can have a conversation about what the app should manage. I'll go ahead and confirm that I want it to manage customer information, track those interactions, and our sales opportunities. What it'll do next is create a shell of an application for us and a brand new data source where we'll store our tables and schema. Full audit tracking will get enabled, ensuring any changes made to our data are tracked, who did it, and when. We'll also create a brand new home page and have menus to make navigation easy. This will include a home menu and a configuration menu. The next step will be for the AI Assistant to suggest a list of tables relevant to our CRM business process. This may include things like opportunity and customers and contacts, etc. While it's coming up with that list of table suggestions, we can see what the AI has already done. We have this new tile on our site menu, and it's created this home page for us. The home page has that left navigation menu for our home menu, and it also has a configuration menu in the top right corner. All right, so we can see the list of tables and columns that the AI has suggested. It's asking us if it wants us to create these tables in the CRM data source. We'll have an opportunity to review these suggestions and make changes. We can see that for each table, it's described what data we're storing in that table and included relevant columns. We'll also notice that we have foreign key relationships between all these tables. So our opportunities are linked to customers, it's linked to contacts, etc. Here we can see that now the AI Assistant is actually going ahead and creating those tables for us. It's going to give us a confirmation as each table is generated. All right, next it'll ask us if we want to create test data for our tables. now that the tables have been created. We're going to go ahead and say yes. Having relevant test data that's specific to our business process, that is also quality data that end users might enter, will make it easier to improve and optimize the user interface and experience of our application. Test data has been added to our tables, and next is prompting us if we want to create pages for all of our tables. I'll confirm yes. This will create a grid panel to display all those columns that we reviewed earlier. The grid panels will link to a pop-up form page. That way we can have data entry and edit our data for a single row at a time. All of those pages will get added to our home menu on the left of our application. All right, so we're ready to launch the CRM application to preview what the AI assistant has helped us with thus far. We can see that we have data in all of our tables, and again, it's relevant data pertinent to the type of data you'd expect an end user to actually enter. If we take a look at our opportunities, we have the relevant data we need to create a dashboard. So that'll be our next step. I'm going to give the AI a prompt that I want to create a dashboard page with a panel named Opportunity Pipeline, and I want it to display a funnel chart, which is very traditional for a CRM, that counts the opportunities by status. What the AI is going to do next is come back to us with a plan. It's going to tell us how it's going to achieve this, and each step of the way, it'll guide us through the process to build this new page, to build the business objects that will be needed for this page, and any questions it may have. So we can see the plan. It wants to create a page named Dashboard. It's going to then create a panel named Opportunity Pipeline. It's given us a description of what that panel will display. It's going to evaluate whether or not a rule already exists that counts opportunities by status, and we can see it has evaluated that there isn't one. Of course, this is a brand new application, so it's gone ahead and created that new rule for us. It's identified the usage types that are relevant for a chart, the status being that category, and it's using a function, the count function, to count opportunities by status. So once it's done that, it's asked us if we want to create that chart rule, and that's what it's currently in the process of doing. Once the rule is created, it'll go ahead and move on to those other steps of the plan, creating that page, creating the panel, and adding the controls to the panel. All right, so our dashboard page has been created. If we go ahead and refresh, we can see that we now have the dashboard here. We can make improvements to this dashboard, adding additional panels. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Next, I'm going to tell the AI assistant that I want to add a grid panel named Open Opportunities. I want it to display the company, the contact name, the amount, and the close date. And this is going to have to filter just on open opportunities. So once again, it's given us that plan, and we're going to go ahead and confirm. It's evaluating whether an existing business rule exists already. We know that we don't have a business rule that filters just to our open opportunities, so it'll go ahead and give us the roadmap and the plan to create that. And then once it does so, it'll proceed with the rest of the things we asked it, adding that additional panel and adding the panel to the page. So I'll go ahead and confirm. All right, so we can now refresh our page and see the end result. We'll have this new panel with those columns that got added. It's important to note that it pulled those columns from different tables. So some came from the opportunity table, some came from the contact table, some came from the customer table. So it did those joins like we asked. Next, I'll add one additional panel, and this will be a calendar panel. I see that we have our activities here, and those have a date and the type of interaction that happened. So I'm going to give a prompt that I want to add a calendar panel named Recent Activities that displays those recent activities on my dashboard page. Again, it's giving us a plan, and we'll go ahead and click yes. It's evaluating whether a calendar panel exists or not already. Once it determines that there isn't a panel or a business object it can use, it'll give us that definition. Again, it'll identify the relevant usage types from our data model. This will include the date, the description, and the primary key for the calendar. So we'll go ahead and confirm. We can see that it's pulling the date from the activity's date. The description will be that type of interaction that happened, and also, we have the unique identifier, our primary key, in our calendar rule as well. All right, so we've gotten confirmation that the panel has been added. I'll go ahead and navigate to the dashboard, and we can see that we now have this new panel. To improve the layout, I'm going to go ahead and change the layout of our page to stacked. This way everything's on top of each other. The next thing I want to do is actually take my two chart panels, the opportunity pipeline and recent activities, and put them in a side-by-side layout. So we'll go ahead and give it that prompt as well, that I want to create that side-by-side group. All right, so it's created that side-by-side group. It's added those two panels. If I give it a refresh, we can see the end result. We now have a fully functional dashboard page. We can continue to build upon this page or other pages in our application using the AI Assistant. To finish the demo, I'm going to ask the AI Assistant for other improvements it may suggest to our CRM application. As I said at the top of the video, this will give us a list of action items to improve our application. It's going to come back with a whole host of suggestions relevant to our business process. For example, in the case of notifications, it may prompt us to notify when an opportunity is won. And we can kind of look through the list of those suggestions here. So 1, adding role-based control access, implementing reminders and notifications, and it includes like a new opportunity, overdue activities, adding additional relationships, adding validations to improve our data quality, making fields mandatory such as email and phone, the opportunity amount, improving our dashboards and analytics. It suggested sales trends, win and loss rates, who are our top customers. It suggested optimizing our mobile UI. That way you can run seamlessly on a mobile device or tablet. We can add additional views such as my opportunities or open tasks that are assigned to me, integrating with external calendar systems and emails, exposing our audit trail and change history, and also giving bulk options to update or delete records at once. All these are great suggestions for a robust application. All that can be achieved both with our AI Assistant and our low-code application development platform App Builder. Thank you for watching the demo of the App Builder AI Assistant.